Welcome to a new season of American Ninja Warrior. For the past 10 years, we've shown you the apex of physical fitness. Unfortunately, our producers say that we've spent far too much time focusing on the ninjas, and not nearly enough time focusing on the Americans. As a result, we've radically changed our program to showcase the most difficult challenges for the modern American. Check out all the action on this new season of American Ninja Warrior.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, y'all open?
Yes.
Can I get a Baja Blast?
What's that?
Let me get a medium.
Yeah, medium.
Yeah. Good afternoon, Jank enthusiasts. I'm MBT, and this is 10-Minute Testing. Wow! A lot of new people here this week. That makes it the perfect time to start shilling my Patreon. Each week I give a deck a fair shake in the format, and one of those decks per month is voted on by my Patreon community. This week they were clear. They wanted this. Presenting Ninja.
I am Ninja.
So here's the list. As always, I'll give you a background about the archetype, a little bit of a discussion about what I hope the deck can do, and of course, the card by card. But first, this video is sponsored by Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro Deck. Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro Deck just got a huge redesign, but it's still the #1 place to go for a pack simulator, a card database, and a wealth of strategy articles. I personally use the site to post every 10-minute testing list and every Chalice Slime Monthly Top Cut entry. Give it a look at www.ygoprodeck.com. With that, let's nestle into Ninja. Ninja is one of Yu-Gi-Oh's first archetypes, dating back all the way to the genesis of the game when the Blue Eyes White Dragon was king and Link monsters were just a twinkle in Kazuki Takahashi's eye. After a few stinkers, Konami settled on a theme for these radical Ronins. The archetype was divided into a series of monsters, the ninjas, and their techniques, the ninjutsu art. The latter was represented by spells and trap cards and were extremely varied in utility and power. The transformations allowed you to rank up into powerful bosses, the spells allowed you to search and draw, and the field spell was there as well. The monsters were rogue playable a number of times, though they never really managed to make it into the meta. Until now! The last few sets have contained a number of powerful ninjas, and Photon Hypernova, the set that keeps on giving, caps the archetype off with one of the most powerful disruption tools ever printed. Ninjutsu Art of Dancing Leaves allows you to tribute a ninja or face-down monster on the field to summon a ninja from deck, including the unmatched Geo the Gravity Ninja. This monster finally enables the deck to do something no other deck can accomplish: targeted and repeatable permanent setting. In a format where putting monsters like Kashtira anywhere is a liability, these monsters do a great job of stranding opponents' bombs in the worst possible place. And with Ninjutsu Art of Duplication, getting to a winning position after tripping your opponent up is a piece of cake. Believe it. So with that, let's get into the card by card. First up, some hand traps. 3 copies of Nibiru the Primal Being and 3 copies of Ash Blossom and Joy Spring, followed by the ninjas. Hanzo makes a repeat appearance, the best ninja of all time. When normal summoned, you can add a Ninjutsu art card from your deck to your hand, and when flipped or special summoned, you can add a ninja monster from your deck to your hand. After that is Mitsu the Insect Ninja. We're playing 3 copies of this one. If you control a ninja card or a face-down defense position monster, you can special summon this card from your hand, and when your opponent activates a monster effect, you can target a face-down defense position monster you control, change it to face-up defense position, change this monster to face-down defense position, then if the targeted monster was a ninja, you can negate the activated effect. After that, we've got 3 copies of Tobari the Sky Ninja. It can't be destroyed by battle or card effect. The turn it was special summoned or flipped face up, and the next 2 effects are once per turn. You can send this card from your hand to the graveyard, especially ninja from your hand, in face down or face up defense position, and then during your opponent's main or battle phase, you can fusion summon a ninja fusion from your extra using monsters from your hand or field as material. We've got 1 apiece of Kagero the Cannon Ninja. If this is normal, special, or flipped face up, you can special a ninja monster from your hand or graveyard and face down defense, and when your opponent activates a card effect that targets exactly 1 ninja or exactly 1 face down defense position monster you control while this is in your graveyard, you can special summon this card in face down defense position and return the targeted card to the hand. Baku the Beast Ninja, which if added to your hand except by drawing can special summon itself, and if it's special summoned, you can target a ninja or ninjutsu art in your graveyard or face up spell and trap card zone and return it to the hand. Green Ninja, which if a monster is special summoned to your field face up except during the damage step, you can target it, special summon this card from your hand, and flip that monster face down, and if this card is sent from the hand or field to the graveyard, can target 1 monster on the field to change it to face up attack position or face down defense position. And finally, Geo the Gravity Ninja. If this card is normal or special summoned or flipped face up, you can target up to 2 face up monsters on the field, change them them in face down defense position, and if you do, opponent's monsters flipped by this effect cannot change their battle positions. If a monster on the field is flipped face up while this monster is face up on the field, you can target a card your opponent controls and destroy it. Each of those is a hard once per turn. After that, we've got 3 copies of Pot of Prosperity, 3 copies of Book of Eclipse, 3 copies of Ninjutsu Art Notebook of Mystery. This is a quick play spell. If your opponent controls a card, you can set a ninja monster and up to 1 Ninjutsu Art spell trap, except a Notebook of Mystery. They can come from your deck and graveyard, but only 1 apiece from each. And if this set card on the field is sent to the graveyard, you can target a face-up monster on the field and change it to face-down defense position. We're playing 1 copy of Iron Digger. This is an equipped spell card, and the equipped monster gains 500 attack, is treated as a ninja, and can banish a ninja monster from your graveyard to target a card on the field, destroy it. If it's sent from the field to the graveyard, you can target a banished ninja, add it to your hand, or special summon it in face-down defense position. We've got an Instant Fusion, a Rhoda, a Called by the Grave, 1 triple tack, 3 infinite impermanence, 3 Ninjutsu Art of Dancing Leaves. It can be activated by targeting a ninja or a face-down defense position monster on the field. You tribute it, then you special summon a ninja from your deck, and when it leaves the field, that monster goes to the graveyard. You can target a Ninjutsu Art continuous spell trap in your spell trap zone and return it to the hand, and you can only use 1 of those effects per turn. Finally, we've got 1 Ninjutsu Art of Duplication. You can tribute a ninja to special summon any number of ninja monsters from your deck in face-up attack or face-down defense with combined levels less than or equal to the level of the tributed monster. Usually what you're trying to tribute is Geo the Gravity Ninja, who has a ton of stars. In the extra, we've got 3 Maizen the Battle Ninja. This card can be special summoned from your extra deck by tributing 2 ninja monsters you control with different types. Your ninja monsters can attack directly, and while you control a face-down defense position monster, your opponent's monsters cannot target this card for attacks. When your opponent activates a card or effect, you can special summon a ninja from your deck in face-up or face-down defense position. 3 copies of Yaguramaru, the Armor Ninja. This card can be special summoned again by tributing 2 ninja monsters with different types from your side of the field, and if it's special summoned, you can banish a ninja or ninjutsu art from your hand, graveyard, or face-up field to target a card on the field and banish it. Of course, after that, we're just playing a bunch of staple, powerful cards. Zeus, Baguska, Abyss Dweller, Access Code Talker, Nightmare Unicorn, Cross Sheep, Lingaribo, and 2 copies of Ninja Grandmaster Saizo, which can be made with any 2 ninjas, and during your main phase, you can set a ninjutsu art spell trap directly from your deck. That's a once per turn, and while this card points to a monster, this card can't be targeted for an attack, and your opponent can't target it with card effects. In the side, we've got 3 Contact C, 2 Lightning Storm, and a Harpy's Feather Duster, triple Evenly Matched, triple Dimensional Barrier, and triple Solemn Judgment. So with that, let's jump into the games. Our first match is up against Traptrix, and listen, I like Pack as much as the next guy, but I'll be the first to admit, battling on a budget has kind of ruined locals recently. Our hand looks innocuous, but I promise you it's broken. We're going to set 3 and pass back to our opponent. They'll draw for turn and normal summon a copy of Traptrix Mantis. They'll activate the effect. We will fire off an Ash Blossom. Then in point of resolution, we're going to fire off this copy of Book of Eclipse. Unfortunately, they do have the extender. They're going to go for a Holatia, which means we have to commit more. We're going to go Dancing Leaves here for a Geo. At point of resolution, we can activate the effect of the Geo in order to tuck that copy of Holatia face down. Unfortunately for us, they do have an Arachnocampo, which means they are going to be able to get to Sarah, but we can get a little greedy at end step. We'll go for a copy of Ninjutsu Art Notebook of Mystery in order to set a Ninjutsu Art of Duplication, which we can activate and draw for a Hanzo, 2 copies of Tobari, and a Green Ninja. After that, we're going to trigger the effect of the Hanzo in order to grab a Kagero, then the effect of the Dancing Leaves in order to return it to the hand. In main phase, we're going to link off for a Saizo. We'll activate the effect of the Saizo to search out an Iron Digger. We'll flip it up and go for the back row before they have a chance to activate it, and then point of resolution, we'll go into a copy of Yaguramaru. We're going to banish this copy of Sarah, and we'll tuck the copy of Holatia as well. Then we'll normal summon a copy of Kagero and use it to bring out this copy of Baku the Beast Ninja. We'll go into Cross Sheep, and what do you know? We have the material on field for Maizen, so we'll trigger the Cross Sheep and get the Baku back, and then afterwards we can activate the Ninjutsu Art Notebook of Mystery in order to +1 and make another copy of Maizen as well. Now keep in mind that Maizen can attack directly, so we'll just do 5,000 to our opponent and then set 1, link off for a Unicorn, and chase out their last remaining card. I'm feeling good about this position. They're going to draw for turn. Unfortunately, it is a trap card, but it's not a very high impact one. They'll go Pudika here. We're going to activate the effect of the Maizen. In response, we get a Tobari from deck. They're then going to go into a Sarah and set Orchard. That chases out the Tobari activation. We'll go into a Yaguramaru again. We'll banish this copy of Orchard, and they'll set 1 and pass. Unfortunately, we don't have anything to contest this Sarah, so after we go Dancing Leaves, targeting our Yaguramaru for a Hanzo, we'll trigger the effect of the Hanzo and grab ourselves a copy of the Insect Ninja, at which point our opponent is going to Shade Brick. They'll go for a copy of Sarah. They're going to trigger the effect of the Pudika, which will unfortunately chase out our Hanzo. We'll go for the Kagero because it does target. We can bounce it, and then they'll go for the Sarah to set a copy of Holatia. Thankfully, all their cards are now on the table, so we can now pop off. We'll go Hanzo and then activate the effect of Notebook of Mystery in order to get back both a Dancing Leaves and a Baku, which enables us to make another Yaguramaru to chase chase out the Pudika. We'll go for the Insect Ninja here, and then I'll go into a Maizen before going to the battle phase, and because they can attack directly, get in for lethal. Our second match is up against Kashtira, and thankfully not only are we going first, but also we found a way to special summon Hanzo. We'll do that now using the effect of the Tobari in order to special summon this copy of Hanzo. Afterwards, we'll activate the effect of the Baku on field in order to grab this Tobari back, and then we'll make a copy of Saizo. That Saizo effect will trigger, which will walk directly into an infinite impermanence, but we haven't normaled, so we'll go for Tobari, set 1, and pass back to our opponent. They'll draw for turn a little late on that Dimension Shifter. They're going to go for a Fenrir effect here in order to grab a Rise Heart. We'll activate the effect of the Tobari to go into a Maizen. They'll activate the effect of the Fenrir in order to banish the Saizo face down, but we can tuck it face down as well. They're going to go for a Rise Heart and banish this copy of Unicorn from deck, which they will attempt to bring back with the Kashtira Birth. We will chain the effect of the Maizen, the Battle Ninja, and then on a new chain, Geo Biden Blast the entire field face down. They're going to end their turn with a copy of Pot of Prosperity, which thankfully we have the Ash Blossom for. At end step, we'll flip up this copy of Duplication to go into Tobari, Hanzo, Mitsu, and Tobari. Oh my goodness, this should be the end of the game. We'll go Hanzo for a copy of Kagero, we'll draw for turn, and hey, I'm not even going to attack those monsters. We'll go into Maizen and Yagamaru. We're going to normal summon this copy of Kagero in order to summon back the Mitsu, and let's go into another Maizen. We'll go to the battle phase, and this is well over lethal and well over all of those defense position monsters. So it's time for game 3, and you know what that means, a best of 3 versus meta. Our opponent's playing Live Twin Sprite, and this is one of the hands of all time. Nibiru, save me. We're going to set 3 and pass. Our opponent draws for turn. They're going to begin with a copy of Sunny's Snitch. Sunny's Snitch is going to grab a Leela, which they will then summon. They'll activate the effect. We'll activate the effect of Ninjutsu Art Notebook of Mystery, and unfortunately walk face first into an Ash Blossom. Okay, after that, they're going to go for a red before making Sprint and activating the effect of the Sprint to send a Nimble Angler. That's going to summon a pair of Nimble Beavers from deck, one of which will turn into a gigantic Sprite. Well, Nibiru here, they're going to red. We're going to chain Infinite Impermanence, and thankfully we do get to end the turn, but we're going to have to draw something absolutely crazy off the top if we want any shot in this game. Yeah, that qualifies. We're going to go for Notebook of Mastery here to get a copy of Kagero from the graveyard. Afterwards, we're going to activate Dancing Leaves in order to tribute the Kagero for a Hanzo. We'll trigger the effect of the Hanzo. They're going to activate Effect Failure, but unfortunately that targets, allowing us to use the graveyard effect of the Kagero to protect and bounce the Hanzo. Then we'll normal summon the Hanzo. They'll activate Infinite Impermanence in the same column as Dancing Leaves, and then we'll activate the effect of the Insect Ninja in hand. I think in shame they concede. So it's time for game 2, and, well, we didn't brick this time, but we are going second. Our opponent's going to begin with a copy of Sunny's Snitch again. They will grab from deck to hand a Leela. They're going to normal summon the Leela in order to special summon a Kiss of Kill Frost, and then they'll activate Sprite Starter. I figure this is as good a time as any to fire off the Ash Blossom, but they already have the Jet. That Jet is going to translate into another Sprite Starter, at which point they're going to go into Gigantic, get a blue, and use blue to get a red. Last chance to bluff Nibiru, and there it goes. They're going to go red into Carrot, into Sprint. Sprint activates here, sending a Nimble Angler, and getting a couple of Beavers to their side of the field. They're going to link off this Frost in one of the Beavers for Kiss a Kill, and then go for Leela into a Leela. They'll activate the effect of the Leela, bringing back the Kiss a Kill and drawing a card, and then they'll make another Kiss a Kill and end turn. We draw, and this hand's fine. We're going to begin with a normal summoned Hanzo. They'll gain some life points in the process. We'll activate the effect. They'll activate Infip. We'll chain Book of Eclipse to try and resolve it. They'll go Sprite Carrot in response, which is pretty devastating, I'm not going to lie. We'll go for the Insect Ninja here. They do fire off the Sprite Red, and then afterwards they're going to activate the effect of the Kiss a Kill to destroy the Hanzo on our side of the field. Well, no use sitting in this one. So it's time for that all-important game 3, and... oh... this Prosperity is going to have to work wonders. Okay, it didn't. I guess we'll set 3 for about the 5th time this episode and pass back to our opponent. Our opponent's going to begin with a copy of Normal Summoned Beaver. They're going to activate the Beaver effect to get a copy of Angler, and I guess we're forced to Eclipse here. They're going to set an Infip and pass back to us and draw to it end step. We draw a Judgment. Come on, I just need a starter. They draw a Cosmic off the top. They're going to eat our Judgment. Okay, well, we still have one set. They're going to go into a Sprint, activate the effect of the Sprint in order to go into an Angler effect to summon a Beaver from deck, overlay for a Gigantic, and that's just a little too good not to solemn. Afterwards, going to normal summon a Beaver, activate the effect in order to grab the Angler from graveyard. We'll flip the Eclipse and anything, any starter off the top, please, I'm begging you! So we're back with the deck, and the ninja's oldest nemesis, VTubers. Let's do the pros and cons. First, the pros. 1, flips. They're well positioned. Not a lot of decks are built to deal with this unique form of interaction. 2, it has an incredible Kashtira matchup. As you saw in Game 2, cards like Geo can lock Cash out of the game entirely with a single effect. And 3, this engine is small enough that you can run the required 12 to 15 non-engine to compete with this explosive metagame. And the cons. 1, it's a little bricky. Sometimes you draw too many Tobari or no Hanzo access, and the deck can't do much but set and pass. That can be a winning line, but it's hardly guaranteed. 2, its matchup spread is a little wonky. Sure, it eats Kashtira for breakfast, but it has a rough time dealing with Labyrinth. If people pivot to purple, it's going to be hard to justify. And 3, it's hard. The engine is not completely cohesive, and resource management is tricky, so while good players will be rewarded for their macro-level skills, it can be frustrating to pilot effectively for 9 rounds. All in all, the format's just a bit too new for me to make a call on this deck, but I'll say this, it's definitely something you should be considering, which is a lot better than I've been able to say about any deck we've played recently. Thanks so much for watching. I'd like to give a quick shout out to my patrons, specifically Elena Tincher, Alex Dominguez, Alex Perea, Allison Elliott, Brett Henry, Bizen Queen, Chaotic Meatball, Crispy, Da Bears, DJ Elephant, Grant Curry, John Piet, Jordan Kuntz, King Magic Ruler, Knight Mary, Lookstone, Materiality, MBT Play Madolce, Melissa Sosi, Mike Carlotti, NH6574, Rose Lapine, Roos Mosquito, Solar Flare, Troy Says Bi Erasure is Gay, Vincent Storm, Wonder Waffle, and Yor. I couldn't have done it without you.